Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. I hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on XRP. We're going to do a full update on XRP. I will probably not talk about the FOMC meeting yesterday and the interest rate decision. I just spoke about that in my Bitcoin video, and I think that's, look, it's based in my analysis, right? So I'll tell you what I think is most likely, and I'll tell you about the structure of XRP, and we'll talk about some ETF inflows, of course. We'll do that every day, as long as they're relevant. But it makes no sense for me to talk about the FOMC meeting and everything that happened and all its implications in every video. Generally, it was as expected. It was almost fully as expected, and there was nothing really new. Maybe it was a little bit bearish when we're talking about the monetary policy outlook for next year, but the economic outlook definitely matched that, as in that kind of negated the bearish outlook that we had from that. That's a brief summary, but now let's talk about XRP. So first of all, I did not actually check out the XRP ETF inflows yesterday, but we got some inflows. We got about $10 million, which is decent. That's the same on average that we had last week, Tuesday and Wednesday, I think. No, I think that's actually, I'm not sure when it was, but still we had inflows. That's pretty good. I mean, I personally haven't really seen an effect of those ETF inflows to the price. I mean, maybe without those inflows, we would have seen a massive drop. But it almost feels like they're buying that XRP OTC, right? And obviously, Ripple has a lot of XRP OTC, which means that there's one entity, one partner, which they can keep buying this XRP OTC with, and then you're not going to see a market reaction, right? Because they're not buying it from the market. Ultimately, it's bullish because it takes away XRP that potentially could be sold by the Ripple Foundation, but still. XRP itself still in this old consolidation that we've basically been in for the last 3 weeks now. It's a little bit boring, but there is volatility within, and there's definitely some interesting price action within as well. Right now, with the bearish pressure we saw in the markets after the FOMC yesterday, we pushed down to the value area low again. We have broken down below that, and honestly, I mean, I closed out my long position at entry yesterday afternoon already, yesterday morning already, I have to say. So I'm not too worried about the current price action for XRP, but I would say, I mean, you could make an argument. I don't think this is most likely, but you could make an argument that we are slowly compressing against support at $2 here, and that a bearish breakdown is coming, which is something I haven't spoken about for my last videos. It's just that I was looking at the chart of XRP this morning, and this, even though I don't think this is most likely, from a technical standpoint, this actually is, it's starting to look like this, which is not great. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. And ultimately, I don't think it will come to that, because $2 and that level below that, we still have those imbalances at 1.98 and 1.96. So the entire area is quite strong historically, but also more recently when we're talking about those single prints, those imbalances, which will function as support. And then the general market circumstances are also not bad. Okay, yesterday after the FOMC, we saw a move down, but that was not a move down because we had bad news. It was just a move down because we had some stupid longers, I would have to say. And then when we're talking about the order flow here for XRP specifically, you can also see that we have very negative funding rates, which is usually a sign of a bottom forming. We have a lot of shorts coming in actually over the course of this Asian session. And even though I think some of those early shorts might be rewarded with a push down lower, I think you should be ready for that. I think ultimately the market is strong enough and there's enough fuel, as we just saw, to get a move up higher into the 7-day rolling VWAP, then into the 30-day rolling VWAP. And, you know, talking about 2.28, talking about 2.4 is a little bit of is a little bit out of question right now, but longer term, when we're talking about December, maybe January, I still do think that is a possibility. But we will talk about that later, and I'll keep you updated on that. For now, at least, that is everything I think you need to know. So thank you for watching. Take care, have a great day, and bye.